All right, we're back. No Look Podcast. Your boy Yo Soy, the man. Goddamn, Tyler. It's been a rough season for the both of us as Packers and Raiders fans. This
Down
week, this
tremendous.
weekend might have been the worst weekend for both of us collectively. Packers losing to the Lions. Raiders. I don't even know what happened. I saw they were up by 20 points. Pretty much looked away, and they were like Jags were in victory formation.
Yeah, I mean, this season has put a lot of gray hairs on my head, mainly in my beard, because it's not going into the top of my head yet. But
Better than
just
losing hair like I'm doing. Jesus.
just listen to these, Austin. 20-0, 17-0, 17-0, and 24-0. Uh, Three of those are blown games that the Raiders have blown leads from. Two of which are 17-0, like yesterday. The other one was 20-0, and 24-0 is how much we got shut out by the Saints last week.
Hmm.
So as a Raiders fan, I'm down tremendously. I feel like I've hit rock bottom and there's just no going up from here. First half, Devontae Adams goes absolutely bonkers. Second half, it's like he went out for milk and never came back.
Hmm.
And I'm just left with fucking blue balls. And I was ready to fucking be super happy after beating the Jaguars. But that's neither here nor there. And here we
So
are. I think we have the same record, don't we? Or do you have one more win than us?
I think we're 3-5 right
Okay, so you
now,
have one
or
more win than us.
something. Yeah, I mean, not saying much, but are you glad? Because you almost went to the game. Something came up last minute. Are you glad you didn't
Yeah.
go?
Yeah, I mean, I was telling my coworker today that I would have probably found the tallest bridge and or gotten to a fight and or got locked up in Duval County Jail. So definitely a savings of gas, money, resources, my liver,
Yep,
but
all the
uh,
above.
yeah, I've been trying to go to a Raiders game all season, and it's like I feel like the world is working in a mysterious way of forcing me out of going and preventing me from doing something that's probably way worse than going to that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have too much experience with Jags fans, but I feel like they can get a little rowdy.
Yeah, I mean the
Like
the stadium wasn't even full.
Philly
First off,
fans of the South.
yeah, like the stadium was like half here, half there. Like not even a lot of people in the stadium. Which I mean, granted, it's the Raiders versus the Jags. Um, Probably some of the worst teams in football right now. I just find it funny that now the Jags are like looking good. They lose a bunch of games this season to teams by one touchdown or a field goal, and then they come back and smoke us. And not only did I lose on the field in real life, but on the field in fantasy, fucking Brendan had Christian Kirk and Travis Etienne, who both went off in
Mm,
in their own right. So I was being double fisted, and it didn't feel good.
mm.
Austin, I mean, how are you feeling? When's the last time the Packers lost to the Lions?
Well, last year, in the last week of the season, but they didn't have any of their starters playing because they had already locked up. They got the first seed, right? Anyway, I don't know. They already had clinched their playoff position, so they didn't play. They lost last
I
year,
think they had
but
the first seed.
the last time they've lost 4 games in a row, though, Tyler, I don't.
Five. Isn't it five?
I thought it was four now. Maybe it is
No, it is
five.
five.
Let's see.
I saw it today. It's the second time in Aaron Rodgers' career that he's lost 5 games in a row.
One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. Um, I don't even know if this happened when they went 8-8, those years ago, which was the last bad season they have. Now it's looking like I think this will be Aaron Rodgers' first losing season as the starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. They looked bad. The defense played well. The defense has been the one bright spot of this team throughout the year, but the offense is just so flat. They can never get anything going. I mean, I would rather see them just run the ball 100 times, Tyler, honestly. Now, of course, they can never escape the injury bug. Their top receiver, if you will, at least one or two. Romeo Dobbs goes out with an injury. He's got a high ankle sprain. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Lazard, he looked decent at times, but Rodgers, he just still doesn't have any time. And you know things are bad, Tyler, when they're resorting to trick plays. The Packers never do trick plays. They try to, do a tackle eligible, throw it to David Bakhtiari. And that would,
Yeah.
like, granted, like, I've been trying to come to Rodgers' defense and be like, he has no rapport, no chemistry with these receivers. And of course, like, he's probably never thrown a pass to David Bakhtiari, but that was just bad.
Yeah, that was
Throw him,
horrendous.
throw him a lollipop. Let him catch it in his hands. Even if Hutchinson wasn't there for the interception, that was hitting Bakhtiari's knees, and he might not have even caught it. Like I don't know what's going on. Rodgers looks bad. The offense, just as a whole, looks terrible. Without Aaron Jones is the only one who's been productive. I feel like, and AJ Dillon, he's
Well,
been
he got
okay,
hurt
but
too. They said that Aaron Jones, he'll probably play the next game, but he got dinged up, and now Rashawn Gary's probably going to be out for the season with an ACL. So it's just adding. It's literally packing on for the Packers. Austin, if is it time? The panic button's obviously already been
oh,
pressed. Once you
and Eric
once
Stokes.
what? Oh yeah, that too. I forgot about that. But once you lose to the Lions, panic button has already been pressed. It got pressed yesterday. What
No,
are the
yeah.
next steps for the Packers? Are we tanking? Um,
Oh,
or are we just gonna, are we gonna try our hardest, or are we gonna try and get a draft, high draft picks, or maybe you blow up the team?
yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Packers have always just been draft and develop. I don't think since I've been a fan, Tyler, like I've never seen the Packers in like tank mode or like, all right, the season's chalked. At least at this point throughout the year, um, I hit the panic button after they lost to the Commanders. They looked decent against the Bills, for whatever it's worth. But yeah, this loss for the Lions, the season is officially over. I have zero hope left for the Packers. For me, I say next game, let Aaron go out there, try to, get a revenge game or whatever against McCarthy, see what they can do against the boys. But
Tough defense.
if they lose that one, I say they just shut them down for the season. Get Love in there, get him some first team reps, and honestly, Tyler, see what you can get for Aaron Rodgers in the offseason. Like clearly, he's not the same. I don't want to say he's not the same, but he's not at a point in his career with this supporting cast where he can
Right.
just do it all himself.
It's almost that point, Austin, where it was with Brady and the Patriots. Like they were kind of both
Oh,
teams were just ready to separate. And I feel like we're at that point with Rodgers, and I agree 100% with you. I think it's time for the Packers to throw Jordan Love in there. Obviously, he's been in the future plans for a while, and then possibly, getting some draft picks or players that, would be good young fits around him, would be a great ideal situation for the
yeah,
Packers, i.e. draft picks. But I mean, I think it's time for Rodgers to see if the grass is greener on the other side. Maybe do what Brady did, going to a team that's going to be a win now organization that can fit his needs for 1 or 2 years, for however much time he has left in the league.
yeah.
Um,
Just at this point, just show me the knife. Stab me in
yeah,
my heart. Don't
yep,
stab me in my back. I came into the season. They gave Rodgers the contract. Dobbs is looking good. The defense, I thought they were going to be a top tier defense, and I had hope. Now I like that they gave us hope, but they're still not performing. If you just put Jordan Love out there and say, "All right, we're conceding," like I know what I'm expecting. Right now, I don't know what the fuck to feel, Tyler.
yeah,
Um, I will say it's good to feel something. I haven't felt something in a long time. Although it is pain and despair. That's not something you want to feel on a regular basis. But week in and week out, the Packers are just ripping my heart out, and Tyler, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to have another team to root for the rest of the season.
yeah. I mean, I'm all in on that idea, Austin. It'd be kind of cool if we had like a random wheel that would like spin and like take off teams that are above 500, and then at the end, when there's one team remaining, that's the team that the boys from the No Look podcast root for, because I'm done rooting for Derek Carr at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Well, I was gonna say let's hear it because I've had my spiel about the Packers. Obviously, you and I were both pretty optimistic before the season started. The Raiders bring in Devontae. They bring in McDaniels. They have some guys, Crosby on the defense. You were pretty excited for this new
Yeah.
look Raiders squad, and they just came out and same type deal, just kind of spit in your face.
Yeah, no, I mean, I knew it was going to be an uphill battle with Derek Carr and our offensive line because, we really only have Colton Miller at tackle, and the rest of the guys are kind of no names or rookies. So I knew it was going to be tough at the beginning, and then we saw flashes. Josh Jacobs running for 187 yards, 150. Then we kind of get away from that. Devontae Adams has one huge game, and then he's nowhere to be found. Waller's been battling injuries. Renfro's been battling injuries. He's been nowhere to be found after a huge contract. And then defensively, our secondary is not that great. Rock Ya-Sin has some good games. Max Crosby has probably been the light of the defense. But, when you get paid in the league, you often get double teamed, which is typically what's been happening to him. Chandler Jones hasn't been rushing like we suspected. So, a lot of it is just underperformance, I feel like, in a whole game's, span.
Yeah,
We play one good half, and then the next half, we're nowhere to be found. Derek Carr's underthrowing guys and, lobbing passes in the air for too long. Like, Devontae Adams had a wide open touchdown yesterday, and Derek Carr still almost managed to underthrow him. Luckily, Devontae Adams was so wide open that, I could have thrown a fucking duck to him and he still would have caught it. But at the end of the day, they're saying that Derek Carr is battling some like back injuries or something like that, but they
mm,
haven't really released it to the media. Austin, I don't know. I don't know if it's McDaniels. I think it is. I don't know if it's Carr. I don't know
mm,
what the whole entire organizational shift is, where they're just not performing like the team that they have in front of them should be. I think today I was thinking Mark Davis. Maybe he has something to do with it. He hired John Gruden, gave him 10 million a year. That didn't pan out. Brings in Bisaccia, has probably the biggest turnaround in Raiders history. Gets rid of him, brings in McDaniels, and now here we are sitting at 2-6, I think, and we just look like a bunch of big dumb doo doo head dummies.
yeah.
So
Well, I don't really understand the whole McDaniels thing because we saw what he did in Denver as
yeah.
his brief stint as a head coach, and it's like okay, years passed, maybe he had more time under Belichick, he learned more secrets, he can come in and be effective, but clearly that isn't the case.
I think we're at
Um,
that point, Austin, where we can say that Belichick doesn't have a coaching tree.
well,
Like,
Tyler, interesting stat I heard the other day.
okay,
Only one of Bill Belichick's disciples that have gone on to another team and become the head coach have a winning record. Do you know who that is?
no, I mean, if you told me the team, I probably would.
Yeah, I'd give it away. It was
Yeah.
Bill O'Brien, who
Wow.
was arguably on one of the worst teams with the
Wow.
Houston Texans.
Former Penn State great, by the way.
Yeah. Shit, I mean, if they could, Tyler, now that I'm thinking about it, Penn State could form like a Hall of Fame team in the NFL. Like they'd have a pretty good roster.
No, they
Parsons
would.
and
They would.
Sanders. Well,
Um,
who would they have a quarterback though? That's the only thing.
Kerry Collins, he was a great quarterback for
Christian
the Giants.
Hackenberg.
No, definitely Kerry Collins. I'm going Kerry Collins on that one. But Austin, like you said, I mean, you're just reiterating my point. I think we're at that point where, Bill Parcells had a great disciple tree, Bill Belichick being one of them, right? Bill Belichick obviously isn't a good teacher. At
Yeah.
this point, we have to come to realize as NFL fans and fans all around the league that if your team is going after Bill Belichick coordinator, it's probably not for the better. Matt Patricia didn't pan out for the Lions. Now he's back in New England. McDaniels part two, he'll
Hmm.
probably be back in New England. So,
Yeah.
what's his face? Brian Flores for the Dolphins. He's in Pittsburgh. So it's just a bunch of guys that just aren't panning out. They're just not good coaches.
Hmm.
I don't think they're not good coaches at like offensive defensive scheming. They're not good overall leadership organizational leaders, I guess you could say. The team, you just watch it, Austin. The team just doesn't have it. They don't have the juice.
Yeah.
They don't have the passion to play. Like they go out there first half, they're ready to fucking go. Next thing you know, we got fucking ducks being thrown in the air, missed tackles. Dude, Trevor Lawrence was running the ball yesterday, right, Austin? He had the ball like this. Like they thought he was gonna like dive on the ground. Nope, nobody ends up tackling him. They
Oh
just, like,
yeah,
let
I
him
saw
go,
that.
and then he just runs for 10 more yards. What the fuck is going on? Oklahoma drills on the sideline now. We're gonna practice tackling. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, that he was kind of just exploiting the whole quarterback slide thing.
Yeah,
The only
a
point
little
I'll
bit.
say, Tyler, is you can put an asterisk next to Vrabel because he technically wasn't, a coach under
True.
Belichick, but he was a player. He's doing pretty well thus far for the Titans.
And his
But
mustache is immaculate.
oh yeah, I mean, anyone who says that he's willing to cut off his dick to win a Super Bowl, you gotta put him in a category of just like all-time coaches, no
That
matter what
also
his
has to
record
be,
is.
like, literally top 3 quotes of all time, just in general.
Yeah.
I would cut off my dick to win the Super Bowl. Like, if someone said that to me, I don't know how I would react.
I mean, I would say like maybe a pinky toe, but other than that, I don't know how much I'm willing to give up.
He must have fucked enough where he's like, "You know what? It's gotta go."
He's had his time. But yeah, no, I mean, everyone was always like big on, the trio from Washington, McVay,
Shanahan.
Shanahan, sorry, and LaFleur. But like now that, I guess maybe you could say the Niners are doing okay. The Rams lost a close one yesterday. The Packers are playing like shit this year. I feel like this has been a really weird NFL season. A lot of teams that were supposed to be bad are playing well.
Yeah.
A lot of teams that we thought it would come in and play well are doing bad. Obviously, the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Rams,
Well,
Brady,
it's funny, Austin.
Rodgers.
I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but the Bucks and the Rams are the 2 lowest scoring teams on average per game in the NFL this season. They have
That's
all the
crazy.
star power. Well, I mean, the Rams kind of lost a lot, but they still have, a lot of star power on their team. But the Bucks, they have the addition of Julio Jones, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette. They have a lot of weapons, and somehow they can only manage to score like 16 points a game.
Yeah, I don't know. That's strange. Do we want to get into some of the games and then do the wheel, or should we just do the wheel, get it over with?
I kind of want to see where Destiny is going to take me
All
for
right.
the rest of the season, Austin.
All right. I'll share the screen with you.
I might in Austin, I told you before, I am definitely going full-fledged into this team this season. I'm gonna put all my eggs in the basket. I'm gonna go out. I will buy a jersey from this team.
No.
I swear to God. My favorite player on this team, I will go out and buy a jersey. Austin, I'll throw in a hat for you,
All
and we can
right.
root like true fans.
All right, sounds good. Send me a hat because I don't have the money for a jersey right now.
I don't have a money for a jersey for both of
I
us.
don't have money for a fucking koozie or a fucking what do you call those things? Coaster. Shit. I'll just get a sticker or something, slap it on the infinity. But here we go. Do you have the screen?
I do.
So we got the wheels set up. Tyler and I were giving up on our favorite teams for the rest of the year, Packers and Raiders. We decided collectively we're going to have a no look podcast team that we can root for the rest of the year. So we have now teams above 500 throughout this point in the season. And I think the most surprising thing was every team in the AFC East has above a 500 record, and then no teams from the NFC South have above a 500 record. So that's kind of crazy. But let's get into it. I'm gonna roll it. We're gonna remove a team after every spin.
Oh, thank God. Oh,
Oh, all right. That's thank God
that
too,
whole
though.
corner right there, I kind
Yeah.
of don't like, to be honest.
I mean, I would be above great with having the Chiefs. Tyler obviously has a little bit of bad blood at being a Raiders fan, but all right, Jets. I was honestly thinking the Jets were going to be our team.
Yeah,
The only other team I would really hate is the Seahawks.
I would hate the
Um,
Cowboys as well. Oh, that kind of
oh, that
sucks.
sucks.
I was hoping a Bills, room for the Bills this season, but
Bills would have been a fun team. Obviously, we could
oh,
have
right
played
off
it
the
off
rip,
like
Austin.
coming from New York.
Right off the rip, three AFC East teams
Okay,
out.
okay, I like that too, though.
I love that.
If you
I'm
said
big on.
take away the Jets and the Patriots, but you gotta also take away the Bills, I think that's a fair trade.
That. Yeah. Yes. Stay.
No,
Stay.
Eagles.
Ah!
Yes,
Damn
yes.
it.
I'm low key a Chargers fan now too, so that would work out
I would
perfectly.
hate to root for the Chargers. They're a 5-3, but they're not a good 5-3. I'm gonna be real upset, Austin, if I have to buy a Chiefs or a Chargers.
Seahawks.
God damn
Yes.
it.
This is going very well for me. I'm
I'm
loving
happy
this so
for
far.
you, Austin, because I would have loved a DK Metcalf jersey.
Honestly, any team here besides the Vikings, I wouldn't hate. I'd be cool with the Bengals. I'd be cool with the Chargers, the Dolphins. Fuck it.
Please, please, yes, yes,
Cowboys.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Austin, imagine that first game that you have a new team and they
Oh,
face the
and I'm
Packers.
facing yeah. That would
uh,
be terrible. Oh,
oh,
Ravens.
I'm low key kind of sad about that one. I kind of like the Ravens this season. Although I don't think they have a great chance at winning the Super Bowl.
All right, so we have one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 teams left.
Dude, honestly,
If you had to pick which team out of these left would you want to go with?
I'm not saying it out loud. It's gonna be the next one off the board.
Okay.
Who would you?
Who would I want to go with?
Yeah.
Maybe Chiefs or Chargers,
Oh,
Bengals.
that's good. That's great. Now, if we could get the Chiefs off the board, I'd be really
Please, just
happy.
anyone but the Vikings. I'll sacrifice the Chiefs for the Vikings. Just please, man.
Oh, there it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
There it is.
No.
Ah!
Yes.
By
Yes.
the testicle hair.
Thank God. God damn it, Tyler. I think I still have that Bengals snapback. I'll have to fucking have Jeff ship it out if that's what we get.
Oh shit.
Or I'll have to have my cousin send some Chiefs gear. No. God damn it.
You had to say something.
Oh boy.
God, I swear to God, Austin,
Last
if I have
four.
to root for the fucking Chiefs, dude, I'm gonna kill myself. God damn it, stay.
Oh. All right, you
Yes!
got your wish.
Yes! Alright.
All right, I don't hate any of these teams. I think I would rather go Titans or Dolphins just because coming from upstate New York, we have a lot of Giants fans, and I was just be
Saquon
weird
Barkley
to hop
jersey
on
would
that
make a lot
train.
of sense for me, though.
Right, if you're thinking like Penn State, great. So,
Yeah.
all right, so who out of these teams left would you get their jersey? Like what player?
Saquon,
Yep.
Jalen Waddle, and I'd have to fucking look at the Vikings because
No, it's
you want to
Titans.
say you want or the Titans, excuse me. You want to say Henry, obviously, but I
Oh,
also
it
kind of
has
want
to
to
be.
I kind of want to pick someone else. I don't want to be
Who else is there? They don't know who they're playing at quarterback. Their defense sucks. They don't have a fucking wide receiver.
Hey, at least we'll have some like friends that are Titans fans.
Austin
I might
Hooper,
get
maybe.
I
That could be
might get a
fun.
Steve McNair jersey. Just say fuck it.
I think I have an Oilers snapback back in Lake George too. I might be good to go here. Fuck.
Oh shit! I really hope the Titans get knocked out. I'm not gonna lie. Oh,
Well,
thank God.
got your wish.
Yes.
All right, it's down to two. The Giants and the Dolphins, Tyler. I would rather see the Dolphins.
I
Um,
low key, Austin. If I'm being honest with you, I had the Dolphins in my head the whole entire time. So now they're definitely gonna get knocked out. But I just
although
want to say
Tyler, very ominous colors. They have both of the Giants colors coming in here. That might be a sign.
we might be room for the Giants.
I think we probably will be. Oh, no.
Oh
All
yes!
right, that's not bad actually, Tyler, because all right, so out of
I
all
love this. I love this.
I
I'm
don't hate
happy.
it. I don't hate
I'm
it.
very happy. I'm elated.
Tyler's getting a Waddle jersey. I'm gonna have to rock a Dolphins hat. He's doing the little Waddle dance. Honestly, Tyler, the Dolphins are like obviously we had every team above 500, but they're undefeated when Tua starts and plays the whole game. Like if he stays healthy, they could easily be a Super Bowl contending team.
Oh yeah, and they just got Bradley Chubb.
Hmm.
That's huge. Their defense is playing really, really well.
Fun to
Um,
watch. Waddle and
great.
Hill are electric.
I'm like I said, and plus, I might even get some games being in the
Hmm.
Florida market. I could watch all the Dolphins games almost.
Shit, if I'm down there in for the Art Basel, we'll have to meet up in Miami. I don't know if they play there that weekend, but
Look up the schedule. Look up the schedule immediately.
That would be wild. All right, Dolphins schedule.
What
So
what
it would
what December
be
what?
I think it would be the 4th. They're at 49ers.
And then of course they're at Chargers.
Yep.
Austin, you might
That'd be
have
a
to go to that
that'd
game.
be a fun game to go to. I
Uh
might have
oh. Uh oh.
what?
Christmas Day, Austin.
Oh boy. I'll be unpacking my fucking Dolphins hat out of my fucking my gift wrap.
Austin's gonna be the most confused NFL fan. He's gonna be wearing a fucking Packers jersey with his Dolphins.
Yeah, right. I just hope. No, you know what? I'm gonna do a Rob Lowe, and I'm just gonna wear the NFL hat and just be out there hoping everyone has fun. God damn. Fuck, dude. As I just click my fucking Xbox to eject the game. I don't want the Xbox to be turned on right now. I'm gonna be so confused, like kissing your cousin or something. Like I don't know who I'm gonna want to win that game. It's Christmas. My emotions are not gonna be happy, no matter what it is.
I
Oh
mean,
man.
Austin, let's look at our new team schedule real quick
Yeah.
since we have it up. 2, 4, 6, 8 games remaining.
Hmm.
Honestly, kind of a tough looking schedule if you look at it.
Yes and no. I mean, the next two they should win. Browns and Texans. That puts them to 8-3. Niners, Chargers, Bills, Packers. I can't even put the Packers in there as a tough game. So the next three after that, say they go even 1-2, Tyler. We're looking at 9-4, and then they should win out against the Packers, the Patriots, and the Jets. That puts them at 13-4.
Phew.
It's a solid record.
Sheesh.
But obviously, that game against the Bills is going to be a tough one. That most likely will be for the division. I would assume so, unless the Jets somehow just keep performing. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. No matter what, Tyler, it's going to be fun to watch. Like I said, the offense is electric. Um, I don't have any qualms, rooting for the Dolphins. I have no, preconceived notions or any past beef with them. They're not a division rival.
Neither do I.
The colors are sick for the uniforms. I like their logo, so not too bad. I think it worked out pretty well for us.
Also, I really like their head coach, Mike McDaniel's,
Hmm.
probably one of the funniest head coaches in the NFL.
Yeah.
Dude looks like. Can you pull up a picture real quick? Dude looks like the guy you made fun of in math class. But also chirping Justin Fields this past weekend and telling him to stop scrambling the ball, just hilarious.
This dude is one of the best coaches in the NFL right now. You kidding me? He
Hands
looks
down.
he looks like he plays fucking at Call of Duty for like 8 hours a
Look
day and
at
lives in his mom's
go
basement.
go down to that one left, 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 left. It's like third row, second picture in. No, go to your other left.
This one?
Third row, second picture in. Down one. That looks like fucking Connor.
Yeah, a little bit. If he had a little bit lighter like features, that's pretty funny. Oh, something funny. So the event this past weekend was at a new store, Gilly Hicks, at the
Mm-hmm.
Irvine Spectrum, which is like an outdoor shopping center in Irvine. Connor lives literally like 3 minutes away, so I'm like, yeah, come over. They're giving away some shit. We were customizing basketballs, giving them away. He comes through, gets a basketball, gets a smoothie, gets a free bag, and then they had like a pop shot, and it was like kind of one of those legit ones, not a full size hoop, but not like a Nerf basketball or anything. They were doing giveaways after every 20 minutes. The leader at that point was 120. He pulls up and gets 126. And as he like shoots his last shot, the guy's like, "Oh, timer's up. I guess you won." Gets a $75 gift card, walks out of there, got some like free shorts and stuff. Dude just pull up like to come say hi and ended up walking away with like a shit ton of stuff. He had himself a day.
Wow. Shout out Connor.
Shout out Connor. He needs a shout out right now because I'm sure he's very upset after the Rams lost.
Also, since we're now Dolphins fans, Austin, can I dedicate this season to Winter the Dolphin?
To what?
To Winter the dolphin that died at the Clearwater
Oh,
Aquarium.
damn, bro. Why is that not a story? That's like a Harambe esque thing. It's
I
like,
mean, did you ever watch that one movie? It was like I forget what it was called. Hold on. Let me look it up. It had Winter the Dolphin in it, and it had like Emma Roberts in it and everything.
What?
Yeah, hold on, Winter the Dolphin.
I mean, I'm fully down to dedicate this Dolphins
Oh,
newfound
Dolphin Tale.
dolphin tail. That sounds familiar. But also, I just want to give a shout out to all the dolphins in the world. They're the only other mammal or maybe even animal that performs oral sex.
So what you're saying is dolphins fuck.
Yeah, they fuck a lot. They also are known to rape, but that's
They rape seals. And they also try and fucking rape humans, so watch out.
yeah.
You know what's funny, Austin? On my cruise that I'm going on next week, so the No Look podcast won't be on next week. Sorry, I'll be in fucking Mexico or some shit. I'm gonna go swimming with the dolphins. So
Oh yeah, I did that in the Bahamas. It's lit.
yeah, I'm very excited. Hopefully I don't get eaten or anything like that. So
Are you gonna get to like ride with them? Like hold on the fin and get a little fucking little cruise with a dolphin?
perhaps, maybe.
That'd be
I
sick.
mean, shit.
That would be perfect. Like you got to get a photo and then we'll just
Imagine I
like,
fucking die from a dolphin.
oh my God. Well, then we would have to not dedicate this season to Winter. We'd have to dedicate it to you.
Austin, would it be crazy if now that I'm a Dolphins, I feel so like refreshed right now. Would it be crazy to get a Dolphins tattoo?
Maybe if you got like just a dolphin doing some cool shit with like a beach ball on his nose, but I don't know
With a
if
cigar?
yeah, if you got like the Dolphins logo, that might be a little weird.
Definitely not that. I'm thinking
Yeah.
more like Dolphins, like somewhere in there.
Yeah, like a dolphin and like a moon, maybe the tide or something on your lower back. Little dolphin tramp stamp. Swimming into your asshole or something. Uh,
I love being a Dolphins fan. It seems very
we're already
very
having so much more fun.
yeah, like I wish we were Dolphins fans sooner.
I'm just checking in my fantasy matchups real quick.
Not going well.
For you or me?
Both. Well, I think you definitely won. I don't see Justice Hill in the game, so you should be good. But the Ravens are about to score.
I'm only being Brian by 0.92 points with 8 minutes left. That's probably an L.
It'd
Um,
be really chill if fucking Lamar Jackson. Well, it doesn't even matter if he scores a touchdown at this point. But I
Taysom
mean,
Hill with a solid 1.12 points. You love to see it.
it's a good game. It's a classic game.
Classic Taysom Hill just goes off for like 30 1 week and has 1 point the next week.
He'll
Um,
never. I don't think he'll ever get 30 points again. I mean,
yeah. So
that was a fluke.
let's get into this. I don't think we need to talk about all the games, Tyler, but there were some games that I did want to touch. Some upsets, if you will, some shockers. The Thursday night game, Eagles 29, Texans 17. Not much there. Eagles are a wagon. Playing good football right now. Arguably the best team in the NFL. Patriots 26, Colts 3. I don't know. Do you have anything for that? The Colts are just bad. Um,
Patriots have a great defense.
they lost
They
like three running backs in the span of a week with Taylor going out. They traded Hines and then Deion Jackson gets hurt.
Yeah, I mean the Patriots just preyed on rookie quarterback Ellinger. Colts then fire Frank Reich. Who Austin now the new coach of the Colts is Jeff Saturday,
Hmm.
which is I think absolutely electric. I wouldn't if I was a betting man, which I am. I would put a lot of money on the Colts this weekend. I don't know who they're facing. Oh, they're facing the fucking Raiders. I'm putting a shitload of money on the Colts this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Austin, but I'm fucking
I don't
boosting.
know. That's a toss up right there. I could either see that game being like a high scoring game or just a very low scoring game because both teams are so bad and they just can't score the football.
Well, I saw this interesting thing on Instagram. Well, Jonathan Taylor should be back by that game, which means that he's probably going to have 200 rushing yards. But I saw this funny thing. The last thing that Jeff Saturday tweeted before he became the coach of the Colts was the Raiders look horrible.
Oh yeah, yeah, I saw that.
And now you're facing the Raiders as a head coach, which I feel like it came out of left field, obviously, him being even a coaching candidate, but I think it's more of a morale booster. Like we're already
Well, he was
bad.
on
There's
the staff, right?
He was like a coaching mentor, consultant, or something like that.
Hmm.
But it's at that point where it's like kind of like Bisaccia last season with the Raiders. It can't go much worse than this. Let's just get a guy in there that's gonna get morale up.
Yeah. It might sell tickets. Old Colts fans like, oh, Saturday, we loved watching them for years. We'll get them in there. Next game, Packers Lions. We talked about that. Packers are terrible. But our guy Tyler Dan Campbell might have just bought himself a little bit more time. Said he was gonna go home, drink a beer. Definitely a big
Love
football
it.
guy. Next game, Chargers 20, Falcons 17. This was a pretty close one. Falcons are frisky, like we said, Tyler, but they just can't throw the football. Mariota, he had 129. The only
Patterson had a big
bright
game.
spot on their offense was the run game. Algier actually led the team with 99. Patterson had 44 yards, but he got the 2 touchdowns. Chargers dealing with some injuries. They didn't have Mike Williams or Keenan Allen. Josh Palmer was the top receiver. He actually did well, 8 receptions for 106.
Eckler had a big game too. He
Yeah,
had two
not really.
touchdowns,
Yeah, he had
or
47 yards rushing and a touchdown, and then 27 receptions though for
he almost
24
had
yards
three
and a touchdown.
touchdowns. So there
Yeah.
was one play, Austin. Did you see that where he like turned over and his elbow hit, and they called him down? If so,
Hmm.
basically the guy tackled him, and Eckler like rolled over on him and was never like down. His knee never touched the ground.
Hmm.
So they thought the play was over, but then he ran for like
Oh,
60
I did. Yeah,
yards.
yeah,
Yeah, but then they looked and his left fucking weenus hit the
yeah.
ground.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a close one. I don't know. I don't know what to make of these teams. The Falcons are technically in first place, right? Of that
They're
division.
tied for first place.
Okay.
I think the Patriots own the tiebreaker though, so technically the Patriots or the
Bucks.
excuse me, the Bucks. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's an interesting division. You'd like to think the Bucks figure it out. They, like you said, they have a lot of power on offense. The defense is still good. But maybe the most surprising game of the weekend, Tyler, Jets 20, Bills 17. I mean, what do you attribute this to? Like, was this like a trap game for the Bills, or are the Jets just legit?
Jets defense is definitely legit.
Sauce
And
Gardner is phenomenal.
well, even on the other side of the field, I forget who their other cornerback is, but I saw a stat where Stephon Diggs had 3 targets in the second half, 0 receptions, 0 yards, absolutely shut down the best receiver, one of the best in the league. Josh Allen obviously had an elbow injury, so he was kind of,
Hmm.
iffy the rest of the game. But this Jets defense, CJ Mosley, has been really kind of mentoring. I feel like a lot of these young guys, they got Quentin Williams up front pressuring. Like you said, Sauce Gardner just taking out the whole half of one side of the field. This team is a fun team to watch. I think a lot of what scares me the most about the Jets is that they're on a collision course to hitting a brick wall.
Hmm.
And a lot of that has to do with their offense and, Zach Wilson not being a quarterback that's ready for the next step in the NFL. Also losing Brees Hall, I feel like hurts a lot, but they're definitely a fun team to watch. They're going to be a team that probably beats a few more good teams, but they're also probably going to lose some bad ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, especially against the Dolphins.
The AFC is so competitive right now. I'd like to think that I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but I mean, if they keep winning football games, The only thing that I think is very interesting, Tyler, I don't know that I've ever seen this before. The Jets have 2 players with the same exact name, Michael Carter. They have a running back and I think a
Wow.
defensive back, Michael Carter the second. I don't know if I've ever seen 2 players with the exact same name on the same team.
Yeah, that's very weird. Like, how do you even like what do you say, Mike or Michael
Yeah.
or like, um,
Michael Carter 2.0.
yeah.
Next game we got Vikings 20, Commanders 17. The Vikings, they're a good football team, Tyler. That post game video of Kirk Cousins with the chains
Kirko.
on. Kirk O. Cousins. Wait, how, how can you make it sound like Kirk O'Bangs? I don't know. I was gonna try to do something there, but I don't think there's
Just say
anything to be
Kirko.
had. Um, He's doing enough, Tyler. You know, he's not flashy. Like I said earlier in the year, I would put him slightly above that game manager category. But, you know, Justin Jefferson, one of the best in the league. He had himself a day. Dalvin Cook didn't really do too much, but the defense is stout. You know, Zadarius
He caught a
Smith.
touchdown. Their
Yeah.
defense is really fucking good though.
I mean, the Commanders, they kind of surprisingly made it close. Taylor Heineke is always electric. Um, just couldn't really move the ball. You know, the Commanders' defense is pretty solid, but when you have, you know, both your top running backs that are supposed to be like 1A, 1B, and combined they don't go for over 100 yards, it's going to be tough to win football games.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was going to be a trap game. You know, Kirk Cousins' first game back in Washington since being on the team. You like that?
Yeah.
But the Vikings just really pulled it out at the end. I think a lot of it alluded to, you know, the Commanders not having the necessary weapons on offense and the Vikings just being that good on defense. So, you
Hmm.
know, this Vikings team, I when I would pick this game, I picked the Commanders. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a trap game, like I said, and you know, I don't love teams going from west to east, even though it's not that much. But in Washington, I always find that teams play really bad there. It's like the field or something like that that's like cursed. But you know, the Vikings surprised me, and I think they're definitely legit contenders to go to the Super Bowl this season. I don't know how likely, but they're legit.
Yeah, I mean, if they get the number two seed, I think they could probably. Well, only the top seed gets a bye, so you know you gotta think the Eagles probably get the one seed.
Maybe long
But
season.
I mean, I think they could definitely win that first wild card weekend game, and then depending on the matchup they get in the second round, the Vikings, I would give them NFC Championship contender. Um, but we'll see what happens. The next game we have Tyler, Bengals 42, Panthers 21. Should I say Joe Mixon 42? I mean, he had 5 touchdowns. Like, did he have all the touchdowns in the game? Because what's that? That's 30 points
That's
plus
35.
plus 5, right? I was saying 35. And then
No,
did they
I
have a
think
defensive touchdown?
no, I think I think who scored?
I'm looking at it right now. Joe
I thought it
Mixon
was
had the only
T.
Burrow, sorry, had a rushing
Oh
touchdown as
yeah, that's
well.
right.
But goddamn, I don't know. I'll have to look it up what the most touchdowns scored in a game is. That's got to be up there. I don't remember the last time I saw a single person score 5 touchdowns.
Well, didn't Alvin Kamara score 5 touchdowns Christmas Day?
Maybe.
I think he scored 5 touchdowns 2 years ago. On Christmas Day for the Saints against the Vikings. And then I think he had either the highest or the second highest in fantasy football history. No, he definitely doesn't have the highest because I was going to say Doug Martin, but I don't even think Doug Martin has the highest in football history. Wow, this guy just walked a tightrope.
All right, so Kamara.
That's in. That's also in. Oh, wow. This guy just scored a fucking touchdown because they thought he was out of bounds. That's why you don't. That angle doesn't look good.
All right, so this website is very misleading, but Kamara actually had 6
Oh, yeah.
in that
Wow.
game on Christmas, and then someone else had 6 as well. Ernie Nevers, all the way back in 1929.
It sounds like a janitor.
Ernie Nevers. Ernie Nevers gonna shake out to anything except scoring 6 touchdowns in a game. But no, 5 touchdowns, and then Mixon will probably get like 10 points next week. But
Oh, 100%.
fantasy owners, whoever had him this week, definitely were
Trade him.
happy. Yeah,
Trade him now. Get
sell
all the
high.
value you can.
Tyler, next game, I don't know if you want to get back into it. Jaguars 27, Raiders
Nope.
20.
Yeah, Raiders fucking suck. Whoever is a fan of them is an idiot. Whoever named their dog after them, stupid. Um,
Cursed them for life.
whoever like cried for the first time when they lost in the Super Bowl against the Bucks when they were 6 years old, also a big idiot clown. Yeah, I would hate to be a Raiders fan. Thank God I'm a Dolphins fan.
You see that? It's like the flip of a switch right there. He's already turned it off and he's on the Dolphins. But I mean, no, yeah, Devontae had a good game.
Good
Um,
half.
good half of a game. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that one right there.
He literally, Austin had yesterday 38 points in the first half, fantasy football wise, finished with 39.
Hmm.
So that just goes to show what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
You have a guy who's just cooking these corn. He was literally wide open. Like he was in fucking a different county. That's how
Hmm.
wide open he was. And yet they just dissipate from passing the ball to Devontae or passing the ball in general. I don't know. But they're just god awful bad, just terrible. The
Yeah.
two wins that we have this season, Austin, are the Texans and who else did we beat?
The Colts.
No, we faced the Colts this weekend.
Let me see.
Um,
Let me see.
I feel like it was the second game of the season. It was another below 500
Broncos.
Broncos, who are god awful. Russell Wilson was playing in
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah. Well,
Just
at least they're
just
not gonna go 0-17
they were
because
bad wins too, you know? They weren't
whoever
good.
whoever's the first team to go 0-17 has got to be like the worst team in NFL history.
Oh, hands down.
Next one, Tyler. This was an interesting one. Dolphins 35, our team. Bears
Woo!
32. The Bears honestly played
Go Dolph go.
the best game that maybe I've seen them play in recent history. Justin
Yeah.
Fields absolutely balled out. He broke Mike Vick's rushing record for most rushing yards in a single game by a quarterback with 178, Tyler. That's insane. He ran the
Yeah.
ball 15 times. He also had 3 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He did his thing, but the Dolphins are just a great football team. Tua, 302, 3 tutties. Tyreek went for 143 and a touchdown. Waddle, 85 and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, Tyler, now is the fastest player to get to 1,000 yards receiving. He did it in 9 games. Do you think he breaks the record?
Well, he beat Calvin
With
Johnson,
right
the guy he yeah,
with
like receiving yards because
yeah.
he's not
So
doing the receptions. Receiving
um,
yards, I think hands down. Well, Austin, listen, I
Cup
mean
broke
this.
the record last year, and everyone wants to put an asterisk because he had an extra game. But now we have Tyreek Hill coming in. It might only stand for a year.
Yeah. No, Tyreek Hill is definitely a fucking specimen when it comes to football. Um, a lot of it was the secondary couldn't even keep up with him at points where he was juking one way. I don't understand, Austin. Maybe I'm just a big, dumb, stupid, simple man, but like when something works in football, I don't know why they don't go back to it like ASAP. When you get Tyreek Hill in a three-man set on the like any side of the field, you have Waddle over there and another wide receiver, and Tyreek's technically the I think it's the slot receiver, the one that's back a little bit further.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when that happens and they do like the this guy goes that way, this guy goes that way, and then Tyreek Hill just fucking why don't they do that more often? He's literally open every single time.
Mm-hmm.
The guy could have
Yeah.
300 receiving yards in a game if you really wanted him to. That's
Yeah.
how it's
He's
you'll
just
never
so elusive.
you'll never see another guy like Tyreek Hill ever again. I guarantee it. This
Yeah.
guy is not only the size, he's a fucking freak in the gym, like Austin Eckler kind of is, and then he's also the fastest guy known to fucking man wearing shoulder pads. It's just I hated him on the Chiefs, and now that he's on the Dolphins, I respect him a little bit more. But like, just watching him, I don't understand how people can even guard him.
Yeah. I mean, no, yeah, like everyone was all skeptical, saying, "Oh, he's not going to play well with Tua. He's too fast. Tua's going to underthrow him." But you don't need to throw deep balls. Like he caught a couple. I think it wasn't this past weekend, but maybe the weekend before. He caught a jump ball, which he's shorter than probably 99% of the corners in the league. He just has incredible hops and like timing, just like high pointing the ball. But just yeah, let him get open in space. Run those post routes, the cross, the slants, the screens. Dude's just electric. Put the ball in his hand, and he's getting those yaks,
I also
yards after
love the
catch.
I also love the quote he had after the game with NFL Red Zone. He said, and the lady goes, "And what do you think about Tua?" And he goes, "He's the best quarterback in the league,"
Yeah.
doubling down on what he said in the postseason where everybody freaked out because he said Tua was the best quarterback in the league.
Not a crazy claim, Tyler. Like I said, Dolphins undefeated when Tua starts and plays the whole game. So he's got a case there to be made. Next one, I don't really have too much. I actually, Tyler was very pissed off after the Packers game, so I played Call of Duty and watched Nick Merckx. He was in an Apex tournament, so I didn't watch the 4 o'clock games. But Seahawks
There was only
31.
two of them.
Seahawks wasn't a 4 o'clock game.
Well, there was only two 4 o'clock games: Seahawks, Cardinals, Bucks, Rams.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, okay. And then the Titans Chiefs were the night game. So Seahawks 31, Cardinals 21. Tyler, if the Seahawks go ahead and win the NFC West, I think you gotta nominate Pete Carroll for Coach of the Year because you lose what many viewed as your best player and your franchise quarterback. He's out here with Geno Smith, who, as we know, many wrote off, but he didn't write back, and they're winning football games. Kenneth Walker is electric. The defense is playing well. But I got to tip my hat to Pete Carroll. He's doing more with a roster that people thought, again, a lot of people thought it would be Drew Lock. No one really saw this, revamped Geno Smith coming in and playing good football. But Seahawks, watch out. Anyone like Pete Carroll that has that kind of playoff experience and head coaching experience, you gotta be, worrisome about.
No, you love to see it. The difference of teams that are good, I guess you could say. Geno Smith, nobody in their right mind would ever thought he would have been back after playing for the Jets. But it's great to see. I mean, he has great chemistry with Lockett. Metcalf, their numbers have gone up exponentially, especially after last year. And yeah, like you said, their defense is playing with passion. They're, playing hard-nosed football. And every game, I feel like they get a little bit better, but they also get a little bit more pissed off because people still don't believe that they're the real deal. And I feel like they're gonna sneak out of the NFC West with either being the best team or the second best, for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Tyler, you mentioned Lockett and Metcalf, but guess who led the Seahawks in receiving yesterday?
Uh, no idea.
Your boy,
Disley?
Noah Fant,
Oh boy.
went 5 for 96.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, they got great tight ends too. Disley, Fant, Parkinson, like they got some decent tight ends there. They run this weird offense though. I mean, like getting all these guys involved out of the backfield and
Yeah.
yeah, but the Seahawks team's fun to watch. I was low key hoping that we were gonna be Seahawks fans, by the way, Austin, because their jerseys are really fucking cool.
Yeah, I got bad blood with the Seahawks. Just after those playoff games against the Packers, it wouldn't have felt right rooting for them. So
Yeah.
I was not hoping for that. The late game, or excuse me, no, I'm skipping one. The other 4 o'clock game, as Tyler aforementioned, Buccaneers 16, Rams 13. Again, Tyler, I did not watch this game, but I heard about it. Looking at it right here, the Rams were up 13-6, and then the Bucks go on. Tom Brady leads them to 10 points in the fourth quarter and a win.
Yeah, I mean it was a big comeback for the Bucks. Um, a lot of back and forth, not a lot of offense. But again, like we said earlier in the show, two teams that are the lowest in terms of points on average throughout the season. So you kind of thought that that was going to happen, but you hoped it wouldn't because they were two of the last Super Bowl champions facing each other, rematch of the NFC Championship last year, and it was not. It didn't live up to what you thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Defense played great on both sides, but I feel like a lot of that has to do with how bad the offense is.
Mm-hmm.
And Austin, I just want to say I'm sticking up for Tom Brady in Tampa. Everybody wants to write him off and say how it's all his fault. But you watch the game, and if you're a real football fan, you see that he's actually playing a really good football season. Maybe not statistically, but the throws he's making, his receivers, and let alone his offensive line has to be one of the worst. The offensive line has to be one of the worst in the league. The receivers are just coming, swinging like swinging doors, I guess you could say. being injured, being active, so he doesn't have that chemistry. But I
Mhm.
feel bad for Tom Brady at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, he's got some weapons, and I'm looking at it right here, Tyler. He's got Godwin, Mike Evans, Julio Jones, Fournette out of the backfield. Scotty Miller had himself a day. But who led the team in receiving? Tight end
Cade
Cade
Otton,
Otton. With
third string tight end, mind you.
but Tyler,
Austin, last year the Bucks had 11 touchdowns at tight end. Besides yesterday, they had zero
hmm,
this season.
yeah, I mean, obviously Brady and Gronk, you know how much he likes
Well,
his
Cam
tight
Brate,
ends. Yeah, I was just saying overall in his career, but Brady threw the ball 58 times yesterday, Tyler. This man is 45 years old. Is he gonna have an arm in a few years? What the fuck is going on?
well, also the reason why TB12 was ever created was because of his shoulder, and that was like 15 years ago or 10
Mm-hmm.
years ago. So, what's in TB12? Is it vampire blood or, blood of the placenta of a woman of a dead baby or whatever the fuck it is that they do in Hollywood? But
Well, Tyler, they
guy's a
call they
vampire.
call him the goat, and you know what animal is usually used in sacrificial ceremonies?
No
Goats.
wonder why the population of goats in
Hmm.
Hillsborough County and Tampa
Yeah.
are strikingly down.
Imagine he had like a goat farm and it just like dwindles down towards the end of the season. It's like, Tom, what happened to all your goats? Oh, just famine, Florida, they swept away in the
They
hurricane.
swept away in the hurricane.
um, so last game yesterday, Chiefs 20, Titans 17. Tyler, this was an interesting one. I did watch a little bit of this. It seemed like neither team wanted to win. They both had opportunities. They missed field goals. They turned the ball over. Titans played gritty. Obviously, King Henry did his thing, 115, two touchdowns. But I don't know. Malik Willis, they don't have a great receiving core, and obviously that offense is like run oriented, but he only had 80 yards passing. Like, you can't win a football game if you don't pass for more than 100 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I watched 0% of this game. I fell asleep mad early yesterday. Um, I was doing a lot of chores around the house because of daylight savings time, Austin. I woke
Hmm.
up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday rather than, 7 or 8. The sun was up and Tyler was up, so I was doing a lot. So by the time this game rolled around, I was done with football, done
Hmm.
with life. So I didn't watch this game at all, but I know I woke up this morning and Patrick Mahomes absolutely torched my fantasy team. So I know the Chiefs came back and won. And at the end of the day, I think the Titans are frauds, and
Hmm.
I'm glad that we didn't end up getting them as our team. And the Chiefs, they're just the Chiefs.
I don't know if you could call the Titans frauds.
They're
They've
frauds.
never been touted as like a top team in the NFL or even the AFC, but yeah, Mahomes.
What's a worser division, Austin? The AFC South or the NFC South?
I don't know. I mean, I guess you got to say the NFC because they don't have any teams above 500. But
True.
traditionally, the AFC South has been a dumpster fire. I would say, if you take off the top team, then that's undisputed as far as that goes. But yeah, Mahomes had a weird stat line. He threw the ball 68 times, 446, one passing touchdown, one interception, and a rushing touchdown. Tyler, he rushed the ball. I think I remember watching. He had one like really long third down conversion, rushing the ball, but he had 63 rushing yards. The next highest rusher, Isaiah Pacheco, and then Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They're really challenging me with the last names right here, Tyler. Those two back to back. I think I nailed it, which is
I
surprising,
think you
but
did too.
they had 5 yards. McKinnon had
Wow.
4. So they combined, everyone else combined for 14. Mahomes had 63.
Well, it sounds like they weren't doing a lot of rushing, a lot of passing. What did Tony do? I know it was his first game, back
Uh,
playing.
he had 2 for 12. He didn't do too much.
Oh,
Kelsey, obviously, stud, 10 for 106. Juju, 10 for 88. Miko, 6 for 79. So it's a lot of the same names, but I just wonder, Tyler, like the Chiefs seem super one dimensional right now. There's got to be a good football team that comes along and says, okay, you're gonna pass the ball. We're gonna sit back, drop an extra guy, rush forward and just see what Mahomes can do.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, it's Mahomes. He's the MVP this season in my eyes, statistically and what they're doing. But the biggest thing is their defense is just as good.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jones is killing it. They got Frank Clark. Their secondary is really good. So they're just a team that is gonna fucking they're gonna beat you in the long run. They're not gonna beat you right away, but they're gonna let you think you have a chance, kind of like they did to the Titans last night. And
Mm-hmm.
then they're gonna really put the nail in the coffin when you least expect it.
Yeah. So last game, the game that just concluded tonight, Ravens 27, Saints 13.
Bad. They're just bad.
Yeah, I think this is about what I expected, Tyler. Unfortunately, Lamar did not do enough for you in fantasy. Drake had himself a day, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Isaiah Likely had 1 reception for 24 yards and a touchdown, stepping in from Mark Andrews. Do you think the Ravens are the top team in the NFC North? Or excuse me,
AFC North.
AFC North?
Oh yeah, hands down. Who else is in the Bengals? Yeah, Bengals, Browns, really probably the only other ones that would be in consideration. Browns are
Mm-hmm.
not that great. Bengals are kind of iffy, Austin. I mean, one week they, look like a Super Bowl contending team, and then the next week they look like the Raiders. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't really put a thing on them. The Ravens, they're winning games without not only Mark Andrews tonight, but also they're winning games without having like a Hollywood Brown out there. This guy's throwing to what would probably be a wide receiver three as their wide receiver one, and he's still putting up stats. Lamar Jackson, if the Ravens don't pay this man, I know a team that would, and they're in Vegas. I would literally give up my left testicle to have Lamar Jackson on the football team for the Raiders, and I'm not joking, Austin. I would give up my left testicle. Um, that's how good this guy
Clip
is.
it.
And if they don't pay the man, they're stupid because he's balling out. He's probably second on my list of MVP. He's probably third on my list of
Mm-hmm.
MVPs. Josh Allen has to be number two. Pat Mahomes is like number one by like a nut hair.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know what the argument is or what the confusion is why the Ravens are hesitating on paying the guy. You know, he
I feel
doesn't
like
he
Austin,
doesn't yeah.
they've never had a quarterback like him, so they don't know. They just don't. They're like frozen. They don't know what to do in this
Well, what
situation.
else do you need to know? Even if he doesn't have a great game, he doesn't really have bad games. You know what I mean? He doesn't turn the ball over a lot, and if he's not passing the ball well, oh, he can just take off and run the ball. Um, but yeah, I mean, uh, Likely had 1 catch for 24 yards. He was the highest receiver on the team, so you're gonna have to figure that out. I think once Dobbins comes back, that kind of opens up the offense a little bit. I think uh, who else? Not uh what's his name? Their wide receiver one. He's still hurt, right?
Yeah, Rashad Bateman, he was out
Bateman.
today.
Yep. So and well, their wide receiver one is technically Mark Andrews,
Yeah.
who wasn't playing. So they get those guys back. I don't know. Ravens could be a sneaky good team.
Well, I don't know if you mentioned, but Roquan Smith had a huge game today
Hmm.
for the Ravens in his debut. I think that's going to make a huge difference on the defensive side. I mean, they're stacked, Austin, defensively. If you look at their secondary,
Yeah.
the guys they have up front, guys at linebacker, they're a stacked defense. And traditionally, this is a Ravens team, right? They're
Hmm.
always going to be stacked on defense. I wish they would get Lamar a little bit more help. I mean, Jesus Christ, the guy's begging for a fucking wide receiver.
Hmm.
Hollywood Brown at wide
Well,
receiver one last year was like iffy, but like imagine he had a guy like Michael Thomas or someone who's like a wide receiver one that needs to prove himself. I think they would easily be undefeated.
yeah, I think the only guy that they could potentially bring in at this point, Tyler, obviously the trade deadline has passed, is Odell Beckham. I recently saw he passed, I think, the physical. So people are thinking he's gonna
Well,
probably be
he's a
on a
free
team
agent, I thought, right?
right.
Yeah. So trade deadline. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
I'm
Never mind.
saying that's the only guy they could potentially
Yeah.
bring in. I don't know that I've heard the Ravens as a potential landing spot for him, but if they're calling, Odell's got to be picking up the phone because That's a place he could come in, be a clear cut number one. He could get instant production, instant numbers, and I think that boosts the Ravens' stock tenfold.
Yeah. I mean, they go from winning, 11 games to 12 or 13.
Yeah. All right, that's gonna do it. It's been another episode of the No Look Podcast. Like Tyler said, we're off
Go
next
Dolphins.
week. Tyler will be sipping on some fruity
Pina coladas.
cocktails down in Mexico. Yeah, go Dolphins.
Yeah.